What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode of Moonshot Monday. Today I'm going to pitch that Amazon buys Gotham Greens. Gotham Greens is a tiny little farming startup you may have never heard of, located in Brooklyn, New York. They are an expert in hydroponic growing technology and operate 4 different greenhouses on the rooftops of different industrial buildings in New York City and Chicago. Why is this company so exciting? Why should you care? Well, the entire food system is one of the largest producers of greenhouse gases of any industry, and the bulk of that is due to us eating non-local food, transport costs, shipping costs, and storage costs of all of our fresh produce and meats that we consume. Gotham Greens is tackling this problem head on by building rooftop urban farms on the roof of buildings like Whole Foods, where they can go greens year-round in climate-controlled, renewably powered greenhouses and just sell them directly below. This means that instead of in the winter, when you go into a grocery store in New York City, buying greens that were grown in California, picked 2 weeks ago, put on a truck, driven 2,000 miles, well, that truck is burning fossil fuels the entire way. Not only are the greens less fresh, they're less nutritious, they have an astronomically higher carbon footprint than the alternative that Gotham Greens is offering. As the cost of renewable energy like solar prices and batteries continue to fall, the biggest cost input of hydroponic farming, power, continues to decline, while the cost of normal traditional soil-based farming is increasing. And this is all coming during a time when the global population is getting bigger than ever. We have 10 billion people projected to be on the planet by 2050, and we've already used up almost all the land in the entire world for farming purposes. What are we gonna do? Cut down more trees to grow more crops? I don't think that's a good idea. One of the best ways to tackle this problem, and what I think is a path towards a much more sustainable food system in the future, is to leverage all of the urban space we have, like rooftops, empty warehouses, and start growing food in them with hydroponic technology. This is exactly what Gotham Greens is doing, and ironically, the partner of choice that they've chosen to do it with is Whole Foods. That's right, aka Amazon. Amazon is already growing hydroponic crops on its stores, so of course, I had to check this thing out for myself. It was only a subway ride away. I went to the Whole Foods in Gowanus, Brooklyn to check out that they were actually growing Gotham Greens lettuces and basil on the roof of the building and selling it downstairs in the Whole Foods. There's 0 food miles there. It just has to go, they harvest it the same day, it goes in the elevator, it's put on the shelves, and people can buy it. This is so much fresher than the traditional food system. In theory, it means that the food could be so much healthier for you. The carbon emissions, if this greenhouse is renewably powered, which it is, are so much lower that I was just stoked to see this product on the shelf. They have about 4 or 5 different kinds of lettuces. They're actually selling it. It's sitting right next on the shelf to Whole Foods competing 365 private label brand. Of course, I picked up some lettuce so I could show you guys. This is greenhouse grown, pesticide-free, non-GMO, made with recycled H2O, renewable energy, urban farming, so you're producing local jobs as well. It's premium quality, harvested 365 days a year. Let's try this out. As you can see, cool little logo. Here's the lettuce. I got the arugula. Really fresh. Some spicy arugula from Gotham Greens. Damn, that is really good. Now, I don't know how well these products are actually selling at Whole Foods, but the fact is they have a bunch of shelf space. The pricing is comparable to soil-grown products. So unless they're selling at a loss, this actually seems to be a pretty good business, and the economics are already there and working. Now, I did some quick calculations. According to Gotham Greens' website, their 4 total greenhouses have a growing capacity of 15.3 million pounds annually. Right? 15.3 million pounds. Remember, they sold me this 4.5 ounce box of lettuce for $4. That means on a per pound basis, they're charging $14 per pound. Screw that though. Let's assume they're charging $8 a pound on average and they could produce 15 million pounds a year. That would be $120 million of revenue for Gotham Greens just based on these 4 greenhouses. And according to interviews with the company's founder, they're planning on not only making their own current greenhouses more efficient, but they're also working on building more and more greenhouses in New York and Chicago, as well as expanding to new cities. If I was Gotham Greens, I would be pumping all foot on the gas. If this company is even remotely profitable, this is clearly the future of the food system as software gets better, as renewable energy gets cheaper, as they get more and more expertise. The cost for producing these greens are only going down. Hydroponic technology is a new revolution in farming, and Amazon, by buying Gotham Greens, could accelerate and not only be the leader in actually selling food to you, but be a leader in growing food and hydroponic technology. This vertical integration is, I'd argue, where Amazon is already headed. Whole Foods' lettuce bins in the cage with Gotham Greens are already all their own private label. And if you look at the back packaging, which I did on all of these products, they were all manufactured and distributed from Austin, Texas. The food miles and the pollution for Whole Foods' proprietary 365 lettuce brand is astronomical compared to Gotham Greens. Additionally, when I went across to the fresh lettuce section, I saw they had organic kale, but it was all the way from California. Remember, that is harvested weeks earlier, requires significant amount of carbon emissions because you have to ship it all the way across country in a refrigerated truck just to get it to the supermarket. It's so inefficient. We need a food system where we're growing all our greens in cities. We need to build farms on top of every single rooftop. Amazon, despite acquiring Whole Foods, issued a massive amount of debt at the acquisition. As of last quarter, they have $24 billion in cash on their balance sheet. They could acquire Gotham Greens outright for $1 billion or $2 billion, no dilution. That would be assuming a 10 to 20 times sales multiple on what I'm assuming is a $100 million business right there. It's not even like you're buying Gotham Greens for what they're doing right now. You're buying it for what they're going to do in the future. Sure, they're doing $100 million in revenue with only 4 greenhouses. With Amazon's capital backing and execution, they could build 40 greenhouses and be doing $1 billion a year in revenue and then continue to scale. This is a massive problem. The global population is climbing from almost 8 billion today to 10 billion in the next 20 or 30 years, and people are going to demand fresher, and higher quality food. The education of people wanting to know where their food comes from is not going away anytime soon, and this is only going to put more and more value on companies with technology like Gotham Greens. That is why Amazon needs to stay ahead of the curve, vertically integrate, acquire Gotham Greens, build out hydroponic greenhouses on top of every Whole Foods, not just 2 in Brooklyn. Additionally, they can build out these same hydroponic greenhouses on top of their own distribution and warehouse facilities. Use that technology to be able to deliver you food fresh, literally harvested to order. You can go online, figure out what kind of lettuce you want to buy. A robot will harvest it for you, shoot it to a drone, and they will deliver it to you in 30 minutes. That is in comparison to eating lettuce that was harvested 2 weeks ago. So if they can get this anywhere near the same price, which it looks like Gotham Greens is already done, then I would argue this is a home run. This is going to disrupt the entire produce industry, and I think Amazon needs to stay one step ahead of its competition, vertically integrate, acquire Gotham Greens, build these rooftop hydroponic greenhouses all over the country and the world, drastically reducing the carbon footprint of the produce industry. That's Moonshot Monday. That's Hyperchange. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.